Hey guys, so I'm doing another one of these like lists where I'm just talking with my microphone and you're not seeing anything physical because there's not a lot to show physical here because I'm talking about a wish list of things that I wish existed. I mean, I could show like other figure interpretations of these I have, but I just don't really think that's really necessary for this. Yes, it's another Patreon requested list, this time by Pokey. Pokey and myself have really been getting deep into the 1/6 scale world. I personally have been getting many Hot Toys. I have 7 of them currently on pre-order, which is very fun. My next one coming in should be the Dark Trooper, so that's very exciting. But even though these are very expensive, I really love these. However, I really have to be picky about which ones I get. So there's a few that exist that I would like to have. There's not too many. The Sideshow Crimson Guard is one that I would love to get at some point. And the only old Sideshow Clone Trooper I would like to get is Commander Fox. I don't know if I'll ever end up with those, but those are currently existing Hot Toys Sideshow 1/6 scale things that I would like to get. I do have plenty of things on pre-order, some things I'm kind of debating. Like I'm kind of debating the Storm Collectibles Sub-Zero. I'm thinking about maybe getting that one. But this is a top 10-ish list of figures that I would get if Hot Toys or another relevant company would make them. Some of these do have a version that does exist from another company, but what I'm asking for is something that doesn't necessarily exist quite yet. So let's just get into it. Like I said, it's top 10-ish because some of the slots have multiple characters, and the first two are actually kind of honorable, iffy mentions. There's plenty of things that I love, but I'm not really sure if I need a 1/6 scale representation of it. So I was kind of looking around my collection and everything and thinking, what would I really want in 1/6 scale that doesn't exist? And one thing I was looking at was Avatar: The Last Airbender, particularly and specifically Prince Zuko. I was looking at Zuko and I'm like, would I get a Zuko if a company would make that? I don't know. Maybe. It's a maybe. I would maybe get a Zuko. Would I love to see 1/6 scale Avatar: The Last Airbender? Absolutely. I think it'd be awesome. Who would make it? Not exactly sure, because it is more animated style. Maybe Hot Toys could do it, because they've been delving into more animated stuff lately. But I would like to see a Zuko. They might do some stuff for the upcoming show, if that's any good. Don't really know if I'd get Hot Toys of that. Probably just the cartoon. So yeah, maybe Zuko, maybe some Avatar stuff. Another thing that I'm not 100% keen on when it comes to like, oh, I'd love to get stuff from this, but I might, depending on what they make. I love Batman Arkham. Specifically Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Origins was alright, and Arkham Knight was the biggest disappointment in my entire life. I'm fortunate enough to have a life where I can say that a video game was one of my biggest disappointments, but yes, Arkham Knight was extremely disappointing. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, like, there are some Hot Toys Arkham figures. There's an Asylum Batman. I think it was specifically City, though. There's a City Batman, Night Batman. I wouldn't really want anything from Night. There was a Joker they did. You know, maybe I've been debating getting that Batman and Joker, but I'm kind of thinking of, like, some other characters, like maybe Two-Face or Mr. Freeze. You know, things that I would really draw me in. You know, if they did an Arkham Asylum specific Batman with like that blue tinge to his cowl and cape. It's a maybe. It's a maybe because I really want this collection to be very focused on things that I absolutely love and are very meaningful to me. And I already have a whole shelf full of DC Collectibles Arkham figures. Do I really need it just, you know, twice as big? It's some things I feel like I do, and others I'm not sure. So those are the first two that I'm not really 100% sure on. The rest, if they are made, I will buy them. So the unsure ones out of the way. This is my 1/6 scale dream list. Let's start off big. This is what might amount to over $1,000 of commitment. But if they make Delta Squad, I will buy them all. If Hot Toys makes Delta Squad, that's it. I gotta get them. Absolutely. LED helmets. The blades in the hand, weapon loadouts, yeah, I would need Hot Toys Delta Squad. Absolutely. There's not too much else to say. I would need them. It's funny, I actually did a list of, like, you know, Black Series clones that I wanted, and Delta Squad was at the top of that list. And we are getting Black Series Delta Squad. They're based off of the Clone Wars, but we're getting them. And it's nice to get more Delta Squad stuff. But if Hot Toys did it, man, game over. Absolutely game over. Let's jump into the next one. I'm going to try to alternate it between Star Wars and other things. You're going to notice a bit of a trend that one of my favorite things when it comes to 1/6 scale are Star Wars troopers. I'm sorry. But this one's kind of one that many of you might not really expect. One of my first memories in my entire life was dressing up as this guy. This is the Ninja Storm Red Power Ranger. If I would assume 3-0, if 3-0 were to make a 1/6 scale figure of the Red Ninja Storm Ranger, absolutely I'd have to get it. Would I get the others? Probably not. Probably just Ninja Storm Red, because he was the one that really resonated with me as a kid. That's the one I had the most toys of. That's the one I dressed up as. It was Ninja Storm Red. I'm not a fan of the show. I've never seen Ninja Storm. I don't even know who the character's name is under the helmet. It's just the Ninja Storm Red Ranger to me. I didn't like the show as a kid because I thought it was too stupid, but I loved the look of the Power Rangers, and I just loved the idea that they were like these, you know, these guys with like these powerful suits and they could just kick all kinds of ass. Loved them. I loved the toys. They were muscular, they were beefy, they had cool looking helmets, but the show I wasn't into. But absolutely, if there would be a Ninja Storm Red 1/6 scale figure, I would need it in my life. So, the first entry with the Republic Commandos was 4 figures. Ninja Storm Red's just 1. Let's go back to 3 figures. Thought about having these separate, but I decided to list them together because something about, you know, having these clumped. Because I really want my Hot Toys collection to be very focused. I want to have dedicated shelves to dedicated things. And I absolutely love General Grievous. And if Hot Toys were to make a Grievous, I would get it. Also, if they made a Magna Guard and a specific battle droid, the security battle droid, I would get it. Not a commander, not a regular, not the Geonosis one coming out, a security. Basically, I need the guys that were on the Invisible Hand at the start of Revenge of the Sith. That's what I need. That's what I need. I need the main Separatist guys. The ones that really, just because, man, the opening of Revenge of the Sith was so captivating to me as a kid, and I would love to have Grievous, a Magna Guard, and a security droid. Like, just that display would be amazing. The Sideshow Grievous is hot garbage. Not interested. Not one bit. Even if, like, it doesn't even look that good. The helmet is, the face sculpt is awful, and the thing breaks right out of the box. It's a flimsy mess. I would love to see Hot Toys tackle it and try to make it better. We'll see. They might, but they're already doing battle droids, so I'm hoping the security is a possibility. And man, if they do a Magna Guard, I have it pictured here. I would specifically want the blue one. That's the one I'd love to get, but beggars can't be choosers. If they do a different one, I would still get it. Alrighty, so we have to keep in Star Wars a little bit because I can't alternate every time because I have so many Star Wars-y things. So let's just go back to 1. Captain Fordo. I would absolutely get Captain Fordo. Phase 1, Phase 2, whatever, I'd get Captain Fordo. I guess you can also add blue ARC troopers to the list. I'd get the blue ARC troopers. Would I get 10 of them like I did the vintage collection? Absolutely not. No, that's ridiculous. But there's a lot of troopers that I want, and I decided to clump them from source material instead of, you know, each individual, because I could have a top 20 list of Hot Toys clones I would buy. Not even joking, just wait. So yeah, Fordo and his blue ARC trooper. I guess it's 2, come on. Maybe 3 if they do Phase 1 and Phase 2 Fordo, I don't know. I don't really know if they would do Captain Fordo. Hasbro's been showing it quite a bit of love recently. I mean, Fordo's had 2 figures this year. That's outstanding. One of them was great. The other was Maybe Hot Toys might jump on this Tartakovsky Clone Wars trend. That would be awesome. I would be all down for a Fordo, but I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty. Let us move to one that is, yet again, very out of left field. I love Arnie. Love Arnie to death. And I love Mr. Freeze. And I absolutely adore Arnold Mr. Freeze. and if they were to make a Hot Toys. I'm like, light up chrome. I don't care if it's $350, almost $400. I would have to get it. I'd have to get it. I love Mr. Freeze. He's my favorite villain. And the Arnold portrayal of Mr. Freeze is not a, necessarily good portrayal of Mr. Freeze, but it's fun and it's nostalgic and I love it. It's not the Mr. Freeze for me. I don't look at Arnie Mr. Freeze and I'm like, that's it. That's animated series. I've got the Mondo one. I already have the definitive Mr. Freeze in 1/6 scale. But I would have to get Arnie, absolutely. Other Mr. Freezes, I would debate. I would be like, do I really need an Arkham Origins Mr. Freeze in Hot Toys? It's like $400. Do I really need this, that, and the other? But if they would do Arnie, I'd have to get it. It would look gorgeous. It'd also look absolutely gorgeous with all the chrome and the lights. The lights would be insane. I really hope they would implement USB light up technology for Mr. Freeze and get him so I could have him lit up all of the time. Because if they would give me 20 little button cell batteries, I would scream. I definitely want to get I think they're called soap reactors. I really want to get the Soap Studios light rigs for my Iron Man and Iron Patriot, because I would love for them to be lit up all the time. But I'm not into switching out little button cell batteries that die after a day. Not about it. All right. So next up, let's move back to the clones. We have already seen the reveal of the Phase 1 Trooper and the clone pilot from Attack of the Clones, and we have seen the teaser of the Clone Commander. Give me the rest. Give me the rest. I will take every single clone from Attack of the Clones. Give me the Sergeant, the Captain, the Lieutenant. And the Commander. The Commander hasn't been solicited yet, but I will get the Commander as well. I want them. I would get all of the Attack of the Clones clone troopers. And the sad thing is, if you add up this list and how much this would cost at the end of the day would be astronomical. But if you also add up this list and think about how long it would take for all these to get released, we're talking maybe a decade, if not longer, if it ever even happens. Some of these I don't think would ever happen. Like the Ninja Storm Red, I don't know if that would ever happen, because there's so many other Power Rangers I feel like so many other people are nostalgic about before Ninja Storm. But Attack of the Clones, man, this was the start. This was the start for me. This is what got me into clones, their introduction. I've been there for Clone Troopers since day one, and I would love these. I would love to have a shelf of the Attack of the Clones, the 6 troopers. I'm happy we're at least getting the Reg and the pilot. The pilot especially, because the original clone pilot figure is my first clone figure ever. So I'm very happy we're getting Hot Toys pilot. That one's going to make me cry when I get it. Yeah, man. And one thing I do want to touch on as well, when it comes to the Clone Wars, I've listed, I'll get all the Republic Commandos. I'll get, Tartakovsky Clone Wars. I'll get Attack of the Clones. But I haven't said I'm going to get everything from the Filoni Clone Wars, because I'm not. I have Rex, I have Jesse on pre-order, but I'm not getting Vaughn. I'm not going to get the other 501st ones, like with the Bark Speeders. I'm not all in on Hot Toys clones. I'm not getting the Bad Batch. I want to get the ones that really mean a lot to me. So if they would make particular Clone Wars clones that I really enjoy, I might get them. Like if Hot Toys comes out with a Commander Wolf, I might be tempted. There's so many different things they might do that I might want, but I really wanted this list to be limited to things I would absolutely have to get. Alright, we're almost at the end. Next up, there is a sideshow option that I will get if 3-0 does not deliver. But I really am waiting, before I even get the sideshow, to see what 3-0 would give us for a Cobra Commander. My 1/6 scale G.I. Joe collection is nearly complete to my tastes. There's other things I would love. I don't know if they would ever do Kamakura, but I would love a Kamakura. Wide scope, I think I'd just have to make a custom wide scope. I don't see that ever happening in 1/6 scale. But Cobra Commander, I'm shocked that 3-0 didn't start off their 1/6 scale line with Cobra Commander, because he's one of the main ones. They haven't even put him in the pipeline yet. They've got like Duke and Roadblock and Scarlet and Lady J and all these other characters in the pipeline, but not Cobra Commander. I'm really hoping that they get on that, because I'm really waiting to see what 3-0 would do for a Cobra Commander before I just decide, you know what, let's just get the sideshow and call it a day. Because the sideshow's gorgeous, but it's a lot of money. And I kind of want to wait and see what 3.0 would do, because I actually really like the 3.0 look. So, yeah, 3.0, where's Cobra Commander, you know? Where is he? I'm just asking. I have the Crimson Cobra Commander, but I'm looking for a blue helmeted Cobra Commander. I have a red hooded Cobra Commander, and I think that contrast is enough to be really nice to have on the shelf. Alright, we're down to the last one. This is the biggest financial commitment of them all, but I have decided that as long as I am in a life situation where I have the money and I can afford it, I would want to do this. I will buy, as long as I can, every single Hot Toys Revenge of the Sith clone trooper. Every single one. Bly, Starcore, Galactic Marines, Commander Bakara, Neo in a BARC speeder, ATRT driver and ATRT, Greek, Kashyyyk trooper, landing platform trooper. We've already got the Shock trooper, the 501st. I would rebuy the Utapau and the Airborne. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a duplicate regular trooper to have as Phase 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that. But anything, literally anything from Revenge of the Sith, I will buy in Hot Toys. All of the commanders, pilots, anything. Because Revenge of the Sith is my absolute favorite movie. Is it the best movie? No, it's not the best by far. It's definitely not the best media I've seen when it comes to, quality. But it's my favorite because it means the most to me. It was one of the first movies I ever went to see in the theater. I fell in love with the clone troopers even more. All the different armors and the helmets and the colors and the cool factor. There's such a big cool factor. Sure, many of these troopers we only saw when they were gunning down their generals in cold blood, but they were cool. Commander Bly looked cool when he shot Aayla Secura in the back. I'm sorry, he did. I would totally be down for these. I do think Commander Bly is imminent. With the Commander Apo that was revealed with the BARC speeder, which technically he was in Revenge of the Sith, but this design's, I don't need another 501st. If I want an Apo, I'll just take my normal 501st figure I have and say, look, it's Commander Apo. I'll take my normal Shock Trooper and say, here, it's Commander Thyre, because that's how they were in the movie. That's how they were. But seriously, take that Commander Apo, give him the binoculars from Captain Rex, repaint him, you got Bly. I think Bly's going to happen. I think Bly is going to be made. With the BARC speeders, I think Commander Neo is a stronger possibility now. I would love to see a Bakara. Galactic Marines, I don't know when that would happen. They've shown pictures of the 212th and the Airborne. Like, they've shown prototypes, but they haven't been solicited yet. I already have the sideshows, but I will make an exception for Commander Cody and his boys. I would seriously have a little army, I guess, of 2 212s, 2 Airbornes next to Commander Cody. I would do it. I would do it, because I'm a madman. I like the idea of walking into a room and seeing a whole Detolf shelf just full of, like, all of the clones from Revenge of the Sith in 1/6 scale. In a way, it would kind of, not really complete me, but it would be one of the most satisfying physical items that I could ever possess. Seriously, like, over a fancy house, over a fancy car, something about seeing these little 1/6 scale replicas of what I grew up loving would be mesmerizing to me. Because, especially when I got the Shock Trooper was the one that really, like, did this for me. When I got it and I held it in my hands, I didn't feel like I was holding an action figure. I didn't feel like I was holding a toy. I felt like I was holding a replica of the Shock Trooper. Like, I had it. This is the closest I'll ever have to having a Shock Trooper. It was mesmerizing. It was incredible. And collecting 1/6 scale to me transcends just, oh, these are action figures, but they're really expensive. No, like right now, I'm at my desk recording this, and I've had my Christian Bale Hot Toys Batman sitting at my desk for a couple months now, if not a few months. And I always repose it, and every time I look at it, it is shocking to me how impressive it is. And it's such a rabbit hole I could fall down. Like, I look at this Christian Bale and I'm like, oh, maybe if they make a new DX, Heath Ledger Joker, I might get that. But I don't know, man. There's so much of a pitfall with Hot Toys in this collection. I mean, like I said, I have 7 on pre-order. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. This is a lot of money. This is the most money I've ever spent on toys in my entire life. Now, granted, yes, sometimes I can time it. I can time a pre-order, I can time a release for my birthday or Christmas. And I can kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge to a family member like, hey, can you get me, just give me like $255 for my birthday. You know, that would be enough for a little something special for me. I'll show you when I get it. You know, there's been some occasions where I've been able to time it like that. Like I'm pretty sure the Shock Trooper was kind of like a Christmas thing for me. But that's not always going to be the case, you know? If I want to continue this collection for years and years, I think I might have to make some sacrifices. I have debated, especially with my Damn Toys Ezio Auditore, I have debated with having that. Do I really need any other Assassin's Creed toys in my life? Do I need these NECA and McFarlane ones? Do I really? Currently, I'm still keeping them, but seeing these high-end versions of these characters that I love and seeing, you know, holding what I feel like is a replica of the Thing, it gives me that feeling back I had when I was a kid, when a little action figure impressed me and I could fill the holes with my imagination and, you know, details missing and all that, you know, all the holes of the figure where it's like, oh, it doesn't have this exactly right, it doesn't look realistic. You know, I could fill those holes with my, like, oh, it's just a, you know, it's a clone trooper, blah, blah, I'm having fun with it. You know, I didn't need it to be complete. But for some reason, Hot Toys, whenever I get them, they give me that feeling again, like getting a toy when I was a kid, where I was just so mesmerized and so blown away. They're the things that I admire the most. They are the only collectibles in my entire collection that I insisted were in the living room because I want to look at them all the time. I want them to be there. I don't want them to be like in my studio where I'm only really in there when I'm relaxing or when I'm, you know, filming videos. I want them to be there. Like, I can turn around and I can see my Hot Toys shelf, and I love it. It's stunning to me. I think I'm rambling long enough. I just wanted to touch base on why I am as dedicated to this collection as I am nowadays. Like I said, I'm thinking about making some sacrifices to fund this. Like, as much as I've loved them, there is a small part of me that's debating about getting rid of some Hasbro 12-inch figures to get the space and some funds for Hot Toys. I'm debating it. I'm debating getting rid of things to prioritize the importance to me of these. If you hear some cats hissing, I'm sorry. Ben and Mama do not get along. Alrighty, guys. I think I've rambled long enough. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to the patrons of Patreon, including Pokey, who was the one that requested this list. I'm sorry if I rambled on for way too long. This is going to be very fun to edit, I know, because I have to fish. Whoa! Dang! Dang, Mama is not happy. Yikes. Let me go. I gotta break up a cat fight. I'll see ya. Bye.